All right, so doing my project time a little late this evening. I have a new schedule that's really throwing me for a loop as far as getting things done. I'm still getting used to it. So normally I would have had project time right when I got home, and I got distracted, and all of a sudden it was 8:30, and now it's 10:30. So yay! This is the infamous sweater. And if you are interested in watching me work on it, then stay tuned. For those who don't know, I am Aradia Noir. I'm the resident witch and creatrix over at Aradia's Hand and Danae's Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. And we have before you the Sevrine Cardigan. If you scroll to the post below, you will see a link to the pattern, the yarn that I'm using, which is Cladbourne's Highland Sport in Grey Heather, and my project page, so you can see the various stages of project that I've made, progress that I've made as I've gone along. So where we are, just for references, this is the edging. So this is the edge of the sweater, which means every part that is around where buttons or a zipper would be. This is a cardigan without any kind of buttons or zipper. You can absolutely make an enclosure for it, but I don't ever close my cardigans anyway, so there's just no point in having them. So after that, we have the sleeves, and those should go super quick because there are a lot of stitches here. I'm actually I was naughty and I stopped in the middle of a round, which you should never do because it can bring up tension issues. So a little bit of advice: if you have to stop knitting, either stop before you get to the round or finish it. And that goes for the rows as well, because it's just a better idea to keep your tension even. You'll have a much better finished project than if you don't, especially if you end up leaving it for a very long period of time. So without further ado, we'll get started. All right. So, all right. Handy dandy instructions. And just a little note, this video is probably going to be a bit shorter than most of them. I've been on my phone and using it and fussing with it for a lot longer than usual today. So probably what I will do, this will be like the shortest video ever. I will finish this round and then let you see what we've got done. And this is generally I knit quicker than this, but there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of looking at instructions, and there's a lot of counting because obviously I'm trying to keep to this pattern, and the part that I'm at now flares out. So as you can see, it was smaller down here, and it's gotten a lot bigger up here. And when I'm doing stuff like this, I always make sure that I count to make sure I have the proper amount of stitches. Okay. And an odd row. And when I started, this round had about like 660 some stitches. And you add stitches, I think 4 stitches every other row. So I've got a good portion more than when I started. This video is a little bit longer than I expected. That's because it takes time to do all this. These stitches are tiny, which isn't really a big deal to me, but for some people it is. Now, at the end of this round, this is my beginning marker that I left there just so I can have my bearings easily. While I suggest not starting another round and getting into it, because I want to make sure the marker stays here, I'm going to work the first few stitches before the pattern establishes itself. because I found that that's a much better idea than hoping that the marker stays, because that doesn't seem to work out very well. That means that it's secure. I don't have to worry about it coming off. And hooray! So mark. So row 25 is officially done. And as you can see, there's a lot of sweater here. This is the largest size of the sweater. And it's also the long sleeve version, and the long sleeve version has a wider edging. If I had gone with the shorter sleeve version, the edging was also shorter, and it would have been half as wide as this basically at this point. But as it was, I like the overlap of slightly oversized sweaters, and so I figured that was good to go. So thanks for joining me. I hope that this was entertaining and interesting, and that you got something out of it. And like I said, you can catch some links in the text below to look at the sweater pattern, yarn, if that's what you want to do. And also you can find all of my links of where you can find me online. And my question for you today is, what experience do you have with knitting, particularly sweater knitting? If you have any experience at all, and if you don't have any experience, well, why? So again, thank you for joining me, and you have a wonderful evening.